Big shout out to everybody that made it back. Welcome to the Desert Podcast. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what we should do to improve our show. Today, we're hanging out with DJ Tux.
Yeah, way.
What's Gucci, bro?
Nothing much, man.
Omonat.
Aye, always nice. Always nice.
Don't they ever confuse the Tux with Tuxin?
Not really, but people tend to confuse the tax letux.
Tux, because of the U.
So yeah, kokasi. Hey, tux. Especially back home, like Limpopo. Hey, tux.
Oh, we just Tux.
Yeah, they call me tux. They don't give a shit about tax. Tax are getting chill.
Yeah.
Tux.
And then where does the Tux come from?
The tax actually comes from this other white friend of mine. So in primary and high school, they call, okay, I can say primary because the tax came during high school. So in primary, they used to call me Tux.
Tux.
Yeah, because we had two Tumelos in our friend groups. So the other one was Tumza, the other one was me, which was Tux. So when we got to high school, I used to stay with this other aunt of mine. I didn't stay with my mom because my mom not Lokokasi, and then the aunt stayed in town. So we used to stay in this other the flat. So there was this other friend of mine who happened to be white, so he couldn't pronounce the name Tux.
The Tux.
And yeah, now one Tux. Opola the varsity tag. So he was like, man, I'm just gonna call you tag because I can't pronounce your name Tumelo. I can't pronounce the name Tux as well. So might as well call you tax. And that's how it came about. And then when I started DJing, that's when I saw this tax thing can actually work, but I don't want people when they search my name, the varsity appears. So let me just make it unique and add a C. Well, that's how it basically came about.
Also, Taxicare High School.
Taxicare High School, early high school. When I started DJing, got a virtual DJ, auto mix, that's when the name came about.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Witbank.
In Witbank.
Yeah, but I wasn't born there. I was born go Begersfort, Ramdodi. But I moved at early primary school.
Makes a lot of horror up to North show because we've had fours, we've had bunches, I see you niggas.
I'm 30 producing for you. So yeah, those the guys you're talking about, they're literally my neighbors. We grew up around this. Nalafosh, we stayed like a house away from each other. Fosh, I can say I grew up at Fosh's house and he grew up at my house. We like family. And then Mbanje Lena, he's from
Mbanje Merita, by the way, those who don't know.
Yeah, no, married. Merita is from Kofasinyana, Marlena, growing up, used to come. Because none they didn't tell you.
They didn't tell what was going on?
So everybody was just coming to my house. I was like that kid already. A lot of people just used to come to my house.
Because you had what? You had the toys.
Yeah, I don't want to say the toys. I basic things like disc. Because back then, I would disc in paper de amaroto, the ball. So there was a point where I can say oledi na zamazama or zamera. So na kono buy the disc. So bafet will buy would come to my house to play. But never it's quite far, but people used to walk. To my used to walk from it's like the other side of the village. You have to literally cross a mountain or from so it was that type of upbringing for me. So yeah.
This means you had a very welcoming family. Did you have like a big family? You grew up in a big family?
I can say that, even though at the time I was the only child, Mara, I had a lot of cousins.
That stayed with you.
Yeah, I had a lot of cousins that stayed with us at our house. Even some distant relatives that, like my grandmother's house was just like that house where everybody was just welcomed. If maybe we want to struggle, no Caesar, how to develop an attitude, they send you over there.
To rehab.
Then
Your grandma's house.
and when you get your shit straight, you can go back home or whatever. So we had that type of family out there, very welcoming.
Was your grandmother?
They were very strict, but were very welcoming.
Was she Christian?
She is Christian. She is.
Because that's usually the setup.
Oh, so I'm trying to understand.
Hey, those are your words. Those are your words. I say.
Because what our family we've grown up literally just seeing nobody going to those
church.
houses. No,
Yeah.
the houses.
Yeah.
During holidays, nobody visits.
Comes, nobody
So,
visits.
I don't know. You're the one speculating here.
So primary roots and guy.
Primary, it's any primary school. Leona, it was on the other side from where I used to stay because Nakidula Ramutoli stars and then on a black Barak Malikampa. So Malikampa, that's where we used to go to school because on our side we only had a high school. So you literally had to cross a mountain as well.
We'll cross every day at school.
True.
Come out.
Utla driver. Transport way check.
Come on, high school.
High school, I moved to Wheatbank in my late primary days. So high school next year in Wheatbank.
So meaning you did probably grade 6 and 7 in Wheatbank.
In grade 7 I was in Wheatbank. I think I finished grade 6. Go to Atlanta.
In grade 7 or Wheatbank.
Then grade 7 I was in Wheatbank.
Do you remember what it was like moving from stars to Wheatbank?
Hey man, it was somehow because you have to think of this. Nekitsana is school in a village, a public school in a village, and then now I'm going to, even though it was still a public school, but it was a white school. So I'm going to a white school. I don't know English. I get to say, Kia Mazulu. Abafitla bar lumfano mpedi, because Gibulela speed.
Sure.
I get to say, there's no other language I can speak. So it was, I can say it was a huge transition. And not just the language barriers, even the culture. It was a bit of a culture shock because people were not living the way we were living.
Obviously.
Never tried to feeding scheme
Waphaka
skolo wanguji awufitla kuwa wa dibereke je go tsarisa jo reka pie awutsarisa jo reka pie ke bona ra o le tseta bilo ato ba ntsega ka rona ke just disco parts for lunch. So hey, it was a bit of a culture shock, I can say. And then the most difficult thing obviously was trying to adapt to a new society, new culture, try to learn new languages because, hey man, so yeah, it was that.
Did it take you a while to fit in? How long did you think it took you to make friends there?
Making friends, it didn't take me too long because, mind you, Wheatbank it's a kind of setup where it was initially, not initially, it's still a mining place. So you have a lot of people coming from outside by the Wheatbank. So even though it's
busy,
it's predominantly in Ndebele, there's Tswana people in Wheatbank. There's a lot of petty people, cause but what Limpopo. First thing but like metal bag Wheatbank. It doesn't make sense. So if you're trying to quote unquote find greener pastures, you would go to either Wheatbank or Middlebank. So there were a lot of petty people that could relate to my situation, even though one of them might have got there earlier or somewhere, but Mara, they know the struggles of just
of somebody
being a
new.
loner
Coming
in a foreign place, so I could say. So it didn't really take me a long time to make friends. It didn't really take me a long time.
Did you have white friends?
I only had one white friend in primary. His name was Gert. He ended up dropping out. I just remember now.
Which company does he work for now?
No, he became a mechanic. I don't know about now, but Tamala and a mechanic. Now I don't know. He's probably somewhere doing his thing. I don't know. But he dropped out in primary school. I was
Primary?
like, yo, yeah.
What?
Grade 7. I mean, I was still in grade 7. I think me and Gert became friends after like my 3 months, because the first 2 months I was only making friends with petty people because I couldn't understand the language. So while they're still trying to teach me the
Sizulu,
Sikhoa, that's when I was, for some reason, I don't know, a lot of people were just attracted to my energy because no one ever felt to Amazulu, but Zulu, but they just wanted to be friends with me. I was like, hey, didn't talk more. So I'll just I wasn't totally clueless Zulu because I used to visit Wheatbank before, because my mom moved to Wheatbank in earlier days before Nagetla. So yeah, it was, I think, 2 years before I went there. So I used to visit every now and then.
I'm noticing some, sorry to disturb your train of thought. So you grew up with your grandmother?
Yeah.
And then you moved to live with your mom in Wheatbank?
Yeah.
A lot of us, for is a similar situation.
Same situation.
Me too. I grew up on my... So in Twebelelangya, I wonder if we learn it from our grandmothers. Because it's easy for us, for people that grew up in those setups, to be social, to make friends. So I'm thinking
true.
about for...
That
so
is
it means,
true, actually.
Yeah, I wonder what's...
I've never actually thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Because if... in most cases, like you said, in a Christian home, people are very welcoming and stuff. So you'd see how your grandmother
treats
interacts
people,
with other people.
is welcoming. Yeah.
So I think Linda, it was always that thing.
That's where we landed.
Subconsciously, it was always there, but I never really thought about it. So yeah, it was that thing. People were just gravitated to
because you got
my
that
energy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But
now you know.
Yeah. I still don't know. I still can't just put it to one thing, though.
Yeah,
you never know.
There's obviously way more
about
stuff.
Yeah, so we can dissect if we get time to do so. Mara, back then, yeah, I can say, hey man, within 5 months, I had a lot of friends. Within 5 months, I had a lot of friends. And I get to know why till today.
So what was going on when you moved to Wheatbank? Were you like visiting ka di holiday o boya gae?
Yeah, I used to visit ka di holiday. Ke boja batho maka ke boela gae. Ke boja botshepo re dintlo tša Wheatbank di a rotate mana o robetse go tsoga o lebeletse kae kae. Ai go boja ne ba fetile ba tseba ra fetwa ka Wheatbank o bua le ditori for days. And somewhere, somehow, I'm gonna spice it up because it has to seem like
on the other side is green.
Hey, Joe, I better do tomorrow. Busy registering the pudi. So I need something to brag about. Man.
What were your interests like that time? Only Wheatbank, like were you? Because as the teenager, there's a lot of stuff that we try out, either maybe to fit in, to be cool, or maybe it's just your own interest.
That is true.
What were you doing? Were you playing soccer at that time? Were you doing music? Were you dancing? What were you in at that time?
I think I started off playing soccer because I've always been a soccer fan. So like I said, the ball. So I started playing soccer too, and then started playing soccer at school too. And then for some reason, I don't remember how it happened, but I got recruited in the school choir. Problem got like Africans.
What?
That's the only problem I had. Like they were singing African, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this shit. I think I told my mom, hey, lady, because Afrikaans was a foreign language to me.
Were you forced to do it? Was it part of your curriculum?
Nah, not really. They just pick you if they feel like you've got potential to sing for the school. So there was a thing, yeah, where I didn't really know Afrikaans, but for some reason I was passing Afrikaans. Not really outstanding, but I was.
So it was part of your curriculum. I mean,
Yeah.
Afrikaans learning the
Oh,
language.
Afrikaans learning. I thought maybe the school choir thing. No. Afrikaans, it was part of the curriculum. So with Afrikaans, I remember there was a time where we had a meeting with my mom and my Afrikaans teacher. She told my mom, "What I'm to Sanja Tomo Bugala Sibindela." And then
to improve his vocab.
No, ke rhythm seed.
Rhythm seed.
No fetch of a backstage. What's a replace check rhythm seed. So none ke bogala rhythm seed. Yeah, I think I'm exposing my age now. But it's all like
It's not a bad thing.
So yeah, I started watching Rhythm City. So I was so glued in. I don't know why, but they saw Peanut and Swara back then. It's not like now. Now I hardly even watch TV. So her telling me what I need to watch Seven the Land to learn this language that I didn't think I cared about at the time. At the time, it was sort of difficult for me. So, but I had to force. There was a newspaper called the Gazette. I'm not sure if it's still there.
They probably still there.
I used to read the Gazette as well, trying to learn Afrikaans. But I think I got better at it. Just that that choir, because for me it didn't make sense. Why am I singing in Afrikaans? Yeah. So I dodged the choir, ka join a soccer team. Because you have after school we have stayings. You have to stay either way.
Is that where you met Mike? Mike Murupani or
Mike Bloma Kasi was.
It's the same hood.
Hey, we went to different schools. How do you know about me and Mike, man?
It's good. Mike is my friend.
Oh, you and Mike.
Me and Mike were like buddies, like in high school.
No, Mike is my boy, man. Mike Bloma, same black. Just that. Nala Mike again, because wait, let me build up to
you'll get
Nala Mike because Mike was. I think I met Mike when I was 15, 16, somewhere there. Yeah, it was probably my grade. Let me just put this on silent. Mike, we met in the later stages. So earlier on,
I keep telling us you're at school, you joined the soccer team.
I joined the soccer team because I get Ronaldo peer pressure, like you said, like Negira. I was dancing, which I was really bad at, but I was trying.
You're better at dancing. Shout out to everybody that's still here. Hit the subscribe button, comment before we get back there.
Yeah, listen to piano.
We're going to glala a young smash and pass. I'm going to give you names of artists. You tell me who stays and who goes. Who stays is what you prefer. Who at the top notch shit. That's what you would go with.
Who stays is who I'm smashing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Kabza or Kelvin Moom.
How am I smashing Kabza and Kelvin Moom? Hey, this is a setup. This one.
No, it's not literally smash. I just mean like, let me explain it to you. What I mean is because now I'm not even gonna give you producers only, so I'm just gonna give you whether it's a producer, whether it's a vocalist. So you will tell me who's the best for you. That's the smash.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So even if both are the best for me, it's still fine, right?
No, you have one must die.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Yo.
So
okay, so Kabza or Kelvin Momo. Yes. This one is tricky for me, man.
Yeah.
One is doing the sound that I generally enjoy also producing and listening to, but the other one is also diverse. Meaning, I'm also a piano, hip hop, house. I produce everything.
Do you still produce?
Yeah, I produce everything still. So I think I'd go with Kabza just because of that, because the way he's
Range,
so
range.
well versed. Because yeah. Kelvin Momo has his niche and he's running with it, but Kabza is a bit of everything in one. So yeah, I'd go with Kabza.
Babalwa or Buhle?
I think I like Baba Alone and I listen to Babalo more than Buhle, but I'd probably go with Buhle because Buhle has this thing, man, where she just taps into her spirituality and gets me so emotional. So yeah,
Her music has soul.
Buhle, I'd go with Buhle.
And then who else? Who else can I put? Kana ka mangwanulo o opela ba busabalele. Amifago. But Amifago is dangerous. Amifago or Youngstown.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were gonna put somebody pop there, make it easy for me.
I'm putting somebody that I know or
Amifago
can go with Amifago. Youngstown is a crazy writer.
Youngstown is a crazy writer and so underrated in terms of writing.
Hey,
because people tend to focus more on his performance. And by performance, I don't just mean live performances.
The way he sings.
Also in studio, and that's also
but the writing.
So I think I'd go with Youngstown
over Amifago.
Are
you sure?
Even though I love Amifago. Yeah, you put me in a predicament.
That's number 3, ne?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're going with Youngstown?
Youngstown is the guy. Youngstown is the guy.
I don't know if this is fair, but I'm going to do it. Eno or Setrio?
Emo.
Emo, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, King number. Like December.
Master KG.
No, Emo has this song. It was trending, man, last year, December. It was one of the biggest.
What's the song with Stogie?
There was a song, December.
I played it.
Let me look for it.
No.
There's that song.
There was a song in December. It's on my January mix, first track.
It's Emo, ne?
Emo, yeah. Emo and Stogie.
The data is off. I think we'll pass. But just tell us, you know him.
Emo or Cetrill.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Cetrill Mzil. Hey.
Cetrill chela kakhulu.
Yabani.
Hey. Cetrill chela man. Mara Emo has given us nice hits, ne?
Yeah.
One thing about Emo is I used to listen to Emo songs before he blew up. So there's songs some like too nice. Just that people don't really know it's him because it was him before. You know when a song is bigger than an artist. So it was that type of vibe. Or the songs were actually bigger than him. So people didn't pay much attention to him.
Until he started putting the face to them.
Until he started working with them too and them. So I'll go with Cetrill. Yeah, I'll go. Even though I'm disappointed in his consistency in the game, because he has not been consistent.
Have you been watching? He's been on interviews talking about his problems.
Yeah, I watched the El Tito interview, but still, man,
you're not buying the excuses.
Yeah, as much as I feel like some things like those kind of things can affect an artist's emotional being to a point where mentally you're also affected and you can't be
it's not
creative.
Easy for you to be creative or even focus, never mind being creative.
Yeah, because it just creates a lot of problems for you. Because if you're strained financially, it's hard for you to move around as an artist. So I understand where it comes from, but I feel like also Cetrill, man.
Cetrill, bro.
Studio, man. There's a lot of people who
have paid their school fees.
Everybody has to pay their school fees. This is the game. Do you remember back in 2016? I used to be on Channel O and
you were everywhere.
I had nothing to show in my pockets. People were building houses, buying cars with our money.
And it can do a number to you because when people see you there, they expect you
to be on that level.
I remember there was a time,
yeah.
Go buy beer.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes back like, so where's your car?
Where's
nigga, nigga, what car? Nigga, what you talking about, nigga?
Because they see you are everywhere. Your music is everywhere. They expect you to be living it up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't translate in the pocket.
Doesn't translate it to the pocket.
So, I get it. I get it from perspective. Yeah, it's a trill. But still, I feel like, hey, the studio, it's where is that, man?
Yeah.
The studio is where is that? So I'll still go with Satril.
Satril, let's finish it up because Jana Moromajita. Amafelelo, mass music or them two?
Mass music every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And he's so calm. Like mass music go more not even you wouldn't believe it's him, Len. He's just this regular oak. He doesn't have superstar energy.
That's what I like.
He doesn't have superstar
I was
energy.
Actually telling my cousin before it like out in life
yeah.
Because now literally I just want to make music, chill at home. If I have a gig, I go work, come back home.
Yeah.
That's literally my life. That's what I do. Now champagne. I'm not a lifestyle type of person. I like keeping to myself. That's one thing about me. I like keeping to myself. I like making music. I was making music last night. That's what I like to do. I love music. Music is my passion. It's not my front. I get the mino because no, that is not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to eat with music, but it's my passion first. So that's why I love mass music because he's also that type of person.
His music.
And when your passion can feed you and feed your family, it's a beautiful thing to see.
It's a bonus.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
All right, let's circle back to the Tuck story. So you joined soccer.
Yeah. Back to peer pressure, ne? Early high school.
Early high school.
Okay, yeah. I joined soccer and then I used to dance. O fade out the spanzola. Yeah, that's bojo rapper
the skinny ginger.
Yeah.
Which color did you have?
I didn't have a lot of bright colors. I think I had brown, I had black. Because I was a
yeah, because the fashion sense. The fashion sense out there in Witbank is very different. Okay, when they got Mike,
it's different.
Because when Mike pulled up in his days, we were wearing what kind?
And that was the time. That was the time. But this fast. That was the time, man.
Yeah.
So back then we were actually very Josie. We are Josie. Edhadi jago. Even kitlo realize our mapulana rapela beswana ne. Mara, it was just part of the Kasi culture. Yeah, that's why you can't wear fakes because what over. Mara the fazojela. There was this other Italian brand. I forgot what it is, but Leonardo was popular back in the day. So now my only problem is that I wasn't really a good dancer. I was shit. But nice. So now I realize or no man. Because there was a cousin of mine who was a DJ. He was my age, but he started DJing in 2000. So you can imagine how young he was.
Crazy.
He was very young at home. So he was flawless around that age. In 2007, he was already doing gigs. Gigs at the festival. I don't know the festival because Leona, his brother was a huge DJ in Witbank, so now I'm plug out.
In case, because I know you Witbank people are gonna watch.
Yeah. So Moshel and Nele were the ones who actually
kind of influenced
me to start this thing. So I started off Nel Nanal sound, a huge sound. So we do weddings. We do the.
Are you learning to DJ or you're just tagging along as a plus one?
I learned by myself.
How do you learn by yourself?
Got virtual DJ. So what happened was, because let me try something else and still fit in the majita. Because if I DJ and I have these gents, Babam Frostan about jive, they'll still come to my gigs and support me. And gigs, I mean 21st, Manyalo about. The extra plate you got the Bosco So, yeah, that type of thing. So, for me, it was Kahopela already run by the PC because back then, already nasi sharp. There was a point where I remember Salra do like a garage. No longer Salra rent a room. So already nasi sharp. But she was making sure Ketsana Skolos sharp, Kapara sharp, like everything. Like I could want to come on So I'm by la PC and then I started DJing a virtual DJ. And auto mix actually, it was auto mix before virtual DJ. Then I moved to virtual DJ. This thing, there was also they started gaining interest. I get pull
up like this is what the niggas are doing on the other side.
I'm the guy.
You gotta keep up with the memo.
Take these things, software. That type of thing. So I remember. I taught myself how to DJ. Ne? So, okay, I can actually do this thing because I was mainly focusing on track selection because I used to love music. I was a music collector before even then.
Where does that influence come
CDs. From? I think it came from, there's a cousin of mine, I never actually told him this, Barakaloni. That guy used to love music so much. He was influenced by hip-hop. The late 90s hip hop, Tupac, Game,
NWA, Ice Cube.
So he was that guy about the Fubu, the Timbs, and all that. So every time I'm with him, he will always play me new music. And then Lena got influenced. Obviously, even my uncle was a person Haratangi, the soul music and all that. I still love soul music because of him even now. So those two people, I feel like, influenced me to a point where I just thought, no, music is actually something I can actually venture into. So, hey man, you just took me back. I never thought of this thing as Batubakbo Naba who played that role in me deciding to take on music. But they did. Even though that guy was playing hip hop, he was also a casual house listener. So when he plays house, Nadalabo Frank Roger, Bo Louis Vega. So Lynn I BOP, I picked interest in everything. I think that's why even now when I make music, I make everything. Now I can literally produce every genre. I don't pick and choose. And when I listen to everything. Yeah. So that's when I saw, okay, this music thing, I actually want to do this thing. So when I go to these gigs, I'll just follow them around. I'll follow them around. And then whenever, like...
This is like this is the teenage you, 15, 16.
It was 2007, 8.
2007, 8.
Because 2006, 7, I was still in my bedroom. So now I had that thing out. Let me actually try this thing out. Because the equipment is there. And there was this other big brother of theirs, Kuto. I don't know what's about route. So they were like, the equipment is there. Teach yourself. We don't have time. I was like, I'll do it myself. So every time after school, we used to live next door to each other. I'd go next door, get plug equipment and just get the lalle perachaka, get the lalle perachaka. Whenever there's a wedding, July. Mind you, the equipment back then wasn't friendly. I saw literature people just press and play. People have it easy now.
They have it super easy.
I think that's why most people are so against this thing, the influencer.
That's what McG keeps talking about, saying the art of DJing.
Mara, you must also think, the times have changed. No, DJing is more about selling a personality and doing extra things than the actual DJ.
They rebranded music. It's like now
That is
music
true.
is
Music as a whole, yeah.
music as a whole is hey.
You have to sell your personality. That's why ba re ke Illuminati.
Hey bro.
Ba palelwa. Palelwa ba re ke Illuminati. I'll say Illuminati. You have to brand yourself.
You have
Sell
to
your
be-
brand.
yeah.
So I remember Ketomo the wedding, Celebonella, I actually got better quicker than they expected. Because I remember playing for the first time in front of them. They were like, Emana, I'm like, I've been learning every day after school. I've been practicing. And then we started having regular practice sessions. And then that was it, man. That's literally how I started music and just left everything else. Got stop a lot, la ball or jive, or everything that was peer pressure vibes. Started focusing on the music.
I mean, you left everything else for
the
music. Now
yeah.
you're doing the music officially. I saw boss at the fell like I put a really gig out of my magitale, the joke, short little baby, little check a mola. You go at the section, and mola, you know, you've got access to everything. But magitale, and couple of magitale. Don't let you know. Hey, if I roll with those niggas, I'm nice. Yeah, I could have cracked for you lively for playing.
Hey, and you look over to Sara nice about all surrounding Kia, Mamidero.
I got a good jive.
That was the nicest thing. I think, Lorna, one thing I actually liked about the music is how people treat you because they see you as an essential part of the event. Because without the music,
because you are.
Fun. Because if we're just gonna talk, but so I think that's why the passion just started growing from there. And then I remember in 2009, that was 2008. I got to moderate the weddings and stuff. In 2009, we started, like I said, the connection. Richard for the festival and stuff. So I remember back then
I was eating steak. Forgive me. Yeah.
I remember from there, never to more reach a festival, learn include because you take as a package or one and include we'd play, but
at the festival.
Yeah.
What was that like? Moving from the what's up? It's a growth. It's going up. You go from playing at weddings now the festival. There's a huge stage.
Yeah.
Sure, there's over 10,000 people there.
That was scary, especially at that age, because nekele mfana Joe. Like they would literally call us Bafana Balabaganel. There's OGs even now in Witbank who still respect the craft that I do because of they saw the come up and how young I was. Because you did it at that age. Because a lot of people get into these things a much more experience of how to maneuver in life. Now I had no idea what I was doing by then. I was still young.
But I'm sure Nell was the guide.
Yeah, Nell was the one who was guiding us. Even though the guy was a tough guy. Baba nchine bakira dem pama da.
Oh.
Yeah, basa. Kono baranali we were cool because now I believe I'm a good listener. So if you tell me or Oscar, because mind you, but about deal like sound, they're very sensitive. Because sound is expensive and it's fragile. So a lot of people tend to not take care of other people's things because they don't know the cost attached to it. Yeah, exactly. They don't know the value of the thing. And I think it's also how I was raised. I respect Luchabat. So Kinyokotora Susa nice or Kausa Naga Putohon Kadi. So Nell and Nella, we had a very cordial relationship. So I remember Neleke and Nangaida, everything. So when it was time to play all the festival jail and open for people like Black Coffee, Christos.
You opened for Black Coffee at what age?
Yeah, I was very young. I won't say my age, but it was around 2009. Late 2009 going to 2010. It was the same. Yeah. So I realized one thing during that year, okay, I am DJing because DJing was nearly space or everyone is trying to jump into at that point. I am DJing, I'm a solid DJ, but I'm not different from the next DJ. what can I do to make sure I'm actually different,
stand out.
Yeah, I stand out from what everybody else is doing. So that's when I started producing. I got Fruity Loops.
Who teaches you?
Fruity Loops 3.
Producer. How?
Where
Where does that idea even come from?
There's a guy called Cuba from Middleburg. He's a very dope DJ.
This Cuba, the Cuba.
Bushimza, the Cuba, and Nathan. So there's a friend of mine at Bafui to ne on Potarejo. Because back then there was this thing out. If you're gonna produce, you need to use Logic, you need to use Ableton, Resin. So Logic didn't look complicated for we knew nothing about that. So in fact, Cuba, Ushumbisha didn't Fruity Loops.
Basically Fruity Loops
back then. Fruity Loops
before
it's FL. So in fact, so what I started doing, correct. I'll take those Fruity Loops demos. So when a Fruity Loops is a little demo,
the song. Why pack a different rearrange?
So that's what I started doing, rearranging the demo. Because mind you, we were still YouTube back then.
Nobody's on
I
a
couldn't
tutorial.
go on YouTube, tutorial or the only thing you had was those demos. Then you can see, okay, this thing actually works like this. This thing actually works like this.
Box.
There
are these blocks you have to build
together. Something else. So I used to do that, and then from there I just started learning from the templates. Okay, if it's like this, you move like this. If it's like this, you move like this. Then from there onwards, I just started learning. I remember, in 2011, I dropped an album. Yeah. By myself. Hard copy, everything. Gila, get a push. Cover everything.
How do you do that?
I went to this other guy, Nebanale studio, Beronal police station, over no by Chubil, but to it a auction, Lenville. There was a police station there. So more police station. I don't know how it used to work back then. Marano, there's Amapiano FM studios now. Back then there was a record label there. So Mfetu was releasing gospel artists, what. So now you can bend the CDs for you, do the artwork, do everything for you. Then go buy schedule like a prices. So I was like, this guy, Mara for what I'm trying to achieve, it's worth it. I remember I used to sell my CDs,
Where do you get the money? Where do you get the money to pay him?
It was my pocket money.
You ended up saving for music.
I knew. Limited for I didn't go. I saved up for music. Everything I was always saving up for music. I want to child Gila, negative bias part to fail. Then I'll buy the fancy leader.
Usually pie, usually bag, or not
just quarter one way, save a child tag. By the end of the year, I'm buying equipment. So it was that type of thing. So I remember I'm one guy, the DJ, I think it was 110. Just literally forcing my friends to buy the CDs.
410 in 2000 and what?
That was 2011.
2011, yeah. 110 rands. Okay, that was the standard price.
That was the standard, but not for Mutoswana.
Not for somebody else.
The music wasn't even
mixing
and mastering. I was like, hey, you tell it. I think last time I listened to those CDs were back up. Yes, sure. I'm like, hey, get your
and never to never hype and I go learn about the tape or rich man play. And never play.
Yo. But when I listened to it, I'm like, it was a learning curve. Because, it wasn't.
I'm sure the standard back then, it was probably for South Africa.
The standard wasn't really where it's at today. So I remember when I came to Pretoria, I went to Boston to study music.
When is this? This is after high school.
2013. I came 2013 to Pretoria. because wagopola go the already na se nice ka mo, so she had to save up and stuff, and then go khona as gila. Plus Boston is a private institution.
Boston
Be hlaba back then, wabona be hlaba. So and save like atana gila da I did music, studied music under that Soul Candy program. Yeah. And then from there, I started learning a lot of things, man, not just production, because I was very close with the lecturer, because he could see. Another thing, advantage, I had built the connection level for it by industry, along me just playing all the gigs. And I was making a lot of money by then, man. I was getting booked. No, I did not gig, no. Back then I was gigging, I was gigging left, right.
And then the tax experience, right, when does that come about?
That came later on.
After Boston.
On. Yeah. That was I started the tax experience in 2016.
Okay, we'll get there. Now at Taxi, would then let anyone prominent in the industry? Who's pushing, who's out there right now?
Not really, but I built my ties. Like, but also on a level, Chaima music.
You went to Boston then.
Yeah, I remember his bra from me.
I can never get to call him Chaima.
So, go Dark.
Yeah, Dark
was my bro. We used to sleep on the same bed. Nal Dark. Re gigging, I was 22. It was, yeah. I built ties, man. The capo.
This is you building these relationships in Pretoria.
I'm building these relationships in Pretoria, but they started before I went to Pretoria because
of the music. While you were gigging. So you were networking before niggas even knew what networking is.
I was always networking. Yeah. Like the gigging, chopping it up to a point where Baba Honar Abat Pitor, because most of them were based in Kekaimanale, based in Pitor. Baba Angwenele,
the couple
yeah, and then I also linked up with my bro Barkama Numero. Numero Kopalale, it was the thing or Berbonana, the Gigi, Abambuka, Beresford.
Numero list tags are now discovered.
Yeah, but list tags. It was thing, Banong approved. Finalist came late, but finalist I came later on. Banong approved. Hey, bro, we see you moving. We need to work. That's one thing I like about those guys. They're about
the business. We gotta work.
What are we doing? And then we linked up. We actually used to work together every day. A lot of people don't know. Nal numero ber share a room. Ber share a room. Roba la ka room ngewane. Netbank Plus.
No kwa Netbank Plus.
Hey, roba la ka room ngewane. Reproduce every day. If I'm not producing, Numero is producing.
Hey, Numero
like it was that type of life.
Numero.
Arrobal.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Numero was something else.
Yeah.
Numero. Hey, Numero
was he's a workaholic. I've been around him. I've seen him cook. Yeah, I know.
Emana Numero would always, like day and night. There was a point where let's go lumber satersaya no. Kawana na. What don't tushar kahawa lemtak. Let's go like that. Go with your lady. And then that's when I finally decided I'm gonna stay by myself. And we were still pushing the budget. We were pushing. I was dropping.
Didn't you guys ever make a? I'm sure there was a prominent song that you guys did.
We did.
At that time. Which song?
Make a great song actually called Breaking Boundaries.
Breaking Boundaries.
And then with a friend of mine called Ray Osborne. Ray Osborne, who's Nigerian, but he used to stay in the US, but now he stays in South Africa. We push music. I remember that song, man.
Changed your life.
Tim White from House Africa. Do you still remember House Africa?
Yeah.
Wanted to license
Did they rebrand? Are they still there? What's House Africa is?
I don't know what's happening with House Africa right now. I'd be lying. So they wanted to license the song. Hey man, the song was being played everywhere. Metro FM, big DJs.
Did you guys make guap from
Cafe?
Did that's you see any royalties from that song?
That's the thing. That's the thing. And music is very tricky, man. Music is very tricky. You'd have a big song. I think also because we are also negligent, ne? In terms of we didn't register our things with some rocker pass.
There's negligence and there's not knowing. Did you guys know?
Yeah. We didn't know.
There's not knowing.
We didn't know. Because even the guys who were around, ne? It was a thing of everybody's just doing their thing. They are also focused on their thing. They're trying to break through into the industry. Even though they have the experience, but
they have the knowledge and the experience.
It is what it is. So Luena, you have to
so it's all about the school fees.
We paid school fees. Even later was to say, like I said, there were songs they were released under other people's names. Had music videos. I got nothing from them. So it was Grootman. School fees. But it's fine. I'm okay with him now. Like he's just doing his own thing. I'm doing my own thing. It's life, man. You live and you learn. I was young. I had to go through whatever
and he took advantage.
Man. So yeah, that was that. That was that.
So then the tax experience?
The tax experience is actually an event I started hosting in Witbank in 2016. I remember there's a place actually still there, Baraki Devil Chisanyama. That place never talk about Wabaka. There's a friend of mine called Vincent ST. Ne? Event so. But I need people to work with. I need a team. So Vincent, the innocent, and we formed a very solid team. We formed a very solid team.
So go ahead now with the idea you're assembling the Avengers.
Yeah. And then Retsosha Plekelo, people don't know anything about it. Bargi Devil Chisanyam. I think that was the first big event, Devil Chisanyam. And then after that, the place just blew up.
Big shout out to everybody that's still here. We're on the Desert Podcast. Hit the subscribe button. Are you a fan of the soft drink?
Soft drinks?
Drink Coke.
No. I'm not a fan of soft drinks at all.
You're with the juice.
Yeah, I'm a juice person, iced tea person. I don't like fizzy drinks. I don't like fizzy drinks. Yeah, I don't like fizzy drinks. Why? That's a weird question to ask. Hey, that's a weird from talking about events to soft drinks. I'm like,
you're gonna circle back. Just trying to get you in the mood. So the juice. That's you drinking Lipton.
Yeah, that's Lipton iced tea.
Now, who else is there besides Lipton?
Lipton.
Alright, but never mind that. Let's get back to the tax experience. So you were telling us about when it started, what was it about, what inspired that?
Yeah, I think for me, it was a thing of trying to bring, like I said before, there were guys doing events in Witbank, but I feel like it was mostly a cash grab. Because if it later they were taking money from big artists, and all that. So what I tried to do was tax experience was essentially tax and friends type of concept. Because if you look at my lineups, from the first one, who was on the lineup? I think it was Chima Music, Brazo, Lele X, Rock.
This is during their prime time, even. Where do you get
where
do you get the money to book them, or it was a favor type of thing?
Like I said, I was saving a lot for music because I was very passionate. And also it was a thing of Kimajita, like Rabledisha and I'm doing something, like, don't you want to come support? And as much as you also supporting, I shouldn't exploit you or take advantage of you. So I need to give you something, at least. So it was a thing of we were meeting each other halfway. Yeah, so it was a thing of me.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, brotherhood. And they understood the vision. Or Mfetu is trying to do something for his city. Because there was no one around my age group doing the things I was doing. From production in Witbank, don't be lying. from music production, event hosting. A lot of people started doing those things after. After there was a guy,
you gave them a blueprint.
Yeah, there was a guy, Mlindo. I can say Mlindo and I started around the same time because I think we started around the same year. Yeah, we started around the same year, 2016. So yeah, it was a thing of trying to uplift the culture, man.
If someone has never been to the tax experience, what would you like? If someone you were trying to give an idea of what happens at the tax experience, because I've never even been there myself.
Tax experience it was not a wild event, but it sort of had class, man. And that wasn't intentional at all. Just that the people who came there and the people who wanted to support the event were people with class. It wasn't a wretched event. That's what I can say.
And those are your people.
Those are my people. I was getting people coming from Pretoria, but that time I was in Pretoria for school. So people were driving all the way from Pretoria. People were driving from all the way from Beresford, Bustambo. People were hiring taxis, man.
Yeah.
A whole taxi to come to tax experience. So yeah, that's one thing I'll never forget. Actually, I'll always appreciate. People were coming from far places. Bukeleto, coming from Joburg.
The government name.
Hey,
Calling them by.
No, not Brazo. Keleto Mora.
Oh, Stambo's brother.
Yeah. So those are the people who've always shown me support, great support actually. Because every time I'd host, they'll always come and they'll come with a lot of people. So yeah, amen.
And then after the tax experience, so you're saying COVID happened?
Yeah, since COVID, I haven't really hosted anything. Hey, during COVID, I actually went through something, man. I went through some sort of depressive state. I don't want to say I was depressed because
you can't diagnose yourself.
I wasn't clinically diagnosed with depression. I was just going through a depressive state. So I stopped a lot of things. I stopped making music. I had to go back home. It was a lot, man.
What happened? What caused in you all of that?
Everything closed, so I couldn't make money.
Oh shit! Oh yeah,
I couldn't make money
because it closed down the country.
Yeah, because I was mostly relying on gigs. So post-COVID, I had to change my mindset. Even I'm gonna live off gigs now. I even have a 9-to-5 job now. So I've realized already, as much as I have passion for music, that's why it doesn't really bother me that much, the fact that I'm not gigging as I used to. Because now I can even decide, but come gig, then you're like, how much? They're trying to negotiate to the price to little to nothing. I'm like, back then I could have taken it because I needed the money. Now I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I don't need the money.
I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, I don't need to go anywhere I don't have to go.
Yeah.
You understand? So now I move with passion. I have a lot of songs, man. I have a lot of songs. People are always telling me to drop music. I'm always teasing on Instagram, but I'm never dropping. I don't know why. I don't want to give excuses for it. But I am gonna drop new music. And for me, it's just the thing of it's at this point, music is a passion project for me. So I drop music whenever I feel like I want to drop music. Whenever I feel like I want to listen to that music on Spotify or Apple Music. If I want to listen to it on FL Studio there, I will keep it there for my own ears.
But what about your fans? Because you got fans.
Okay, for now, I have this thing that I do. I drop mixes. And for every mix that I drop, there's always my songs on those.
Exclusives or...
Nah, some are mostly out, some exclusive. So I do a bit of both. So people can't say they miss me as an artist.
You're deciding for them.
I give people.
Are you deciding for them?
Hey man, if I'm gonna have a mix that has 290k views on YouTube, it means I'm doing something.
But you have tax fans that want to hear a tax song somewhere.
Yeah. But I do drop. I think I dropped.
When last time
music.
did you put out music?
When was the last time? May, ne? Yeah, May I put out a song. I put out songs every now and then. I just don't make a huge spectacle of it. like everybody else. Nowadays you have to do a whole social media run, pay influencers. Put out music. Whoever wants to listen to the music would listen to the music, and a lot of people do listen to the music.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Crazy
Just that
numbers, I'm sure, yeah.
I don't make a huge spectacle of it.
So do you have like your own record label? You putting this music out as?
Yeah, I have my own company. I'm an independent now. So my company is Point B Entertainment.
Point B.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists who are always asking me to sign them. I'm like, no, I can give you a blueprint on how you could do your own shit, but I can't sign you because at this point we don't need to be signed.
You don't.
We've seen from the likes of Chance the Rapper.
But you gotta have resources if you're gonna go independent, because
that is true. That is why I'm working. And I'm always telling these kids, like, Bafana ba no ba piano ne.
What do you do?
I'm in the finance space.
Finance space.
Yeah, ke bereka le Khopotso.
Khopotso, coach.
Yeah.
How did you get in
there? Nepotism.
Wow.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. The boy saw potential in me, and then he put me in great positions, and then now we're doing the work.
How does he see the potential? Were you guys friends before?
Yeah, we're friends. So obviously, when you talk to your friends, you get to dissect their minds and their thinking. So or this person can actually help me with such and such. So if I place them there, they can make things move for me. So that's how it came about. That's how it came about.
So a brotherly talk, and then you saw it. What do you really do? Like if you were to describe to us the actual job that you do, would you run?
I can say I don't want to give away my job title.
But what do you like? Stuff sour no like the
we work
the physical.
I'm at FBK Markets, the broker. So yeah, I oversee the day-to-day runnings and operational works of the company and all that. So that's what I do.
You oversee.
I oversee everything.
Isn't like that's not a good trade, or that's what
we don't trade.
We
are a broker.
You're a broker. What does a broker?
We facilitate traders. That's what we do.
Facilitate traders, isn't
like we are a middleman between a trader and the market. Because you can't necessarily go into the market yourself. You can't afford to.
You need a broker.
You can't afford to. So we are the ones who subsidize the 100 rand or participate in the foreign exchange. You get it? Because if you were to go to the foreign exchange, you know yourself, it's a big corporation sport. You can't just. It's $1 trillion industry, so it's not for kids. So we are the one who make sure the kids get to participate in what the elders are also doing. We are that window. So that's basically what we do. So we're just trying to create I think with Khopotso's ideology, he saw how Forex changed his life. So it was a thing, how do I improve this thing to a point where not only I benefit, but other people get to benefit as well? Because we know people lack information. So he made it a point that he makes sure people know how Forex works. That's why he started selling signals and doing seminars and writing doing all books, that. So writing books, So it got to a point where he hid a ceiling regarding to that. So it was a thing, okay, I've done everything that I've given people all the tools to participate. Now, how do I teach them the actual barriers in the industry? So you have to be in to know as well. So that's why he also decided to go in depth in that industry
and
so
establish like an actual structure,
and also just supplying resources to people, man. That's what it's about. giving people resources. People can say whatever they like, or there's, people will always talk.
Obviously, people are always going to talk. That time, I'm sure he's got like a company. That means he's feeding a lot of mouths. There's people that actually employ that.
He is feeding a lot of families.
He's responsible for a whole lot of food.
And but I think even lo tse bile yena ja mokgatla go bo jennete no ba re batho ba tsebe o rata gampe ga ba bolela ka yena ba ro o renta dikoloi ya dira di mokgatla gampe because they're talking about it. They're talking about it. So I think it's a thing. I think most people who were haters are starting to see, oh, this guy is actually legit. Because you can't run a facade for so long.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, so I think people can actually see now, but this guy is actually legit, is doing his own thing. He's literally, I think the reason why there was resentment around Coach, he's doing something that is literally foreign to everyone. It is foreign to everyone. Everyone in Beresford was doing, excuse the pun.
He's in the foreign market.
So everybody who's from where we're from, they're doing the same thing. He's not into that lifestyle. Gucci, how to chrome. He's making his money in a very smart way. Not everybody is intelligent enough to do that.
Yep. That's why it's unbelievable.
It is. I don't want to lie. I was like, just that I studied economics. So I knew of the market, but I didn't know how to participate in the market. So the fact that he took his time and understood that, and also tried to break it down to other people. Some people will just keep things to themselves, eh?
True.
Keep things to themselves. Baba Richie, there was a point where Ronald no.
I've heard niggas say that.
No, again, phone way.
Yeah, phone you never no.
Yeah, no. Man, so yeah, the boy put me in there. We just literally trying to teach people how to make money. While we are also making a bit of something. So it's a win for everybody. That's what I do now.
So the music, and then this year, what's Tux doing?
This year I'm just pushing mixes, because I've been doing that since beginning of the year. I'm just pushing mixes, trying to build another lane for myself, because I was doing mixes before, selling merch and doing that, but I stopped. Like I said, COVID demoralized a lot of people. So now I'm building something. I'm rebuilding something, and people are eventually gonna catch up to what I'm doing. So I'm not really in that thing, or I have to make this thing work this year. It's not about this year, this is my goal, it has to work. I am building.
You're busy building something. I am building, solid brand.
And I don't want to put like a time frame on the thing that I'm trying to build right now. Because if you put a time frame on whatever you're building, you're putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. And you're going to end up having to skip.
It's easy for you to compromise the product.
Because you're trying to get to the finish line. Because you're the one who put
a line there
yourself. So I don't want to do that to myself. It's a thing of I'm pushing this passion project. I'm going to see where it takes me.
Kind of these mixes will drop is it also like a weekly thing, or you just throw whenever you feel
randomly.
Like you've worked, you just throw
like I said, I don't wanna bind myself. I don't wanna bind myself. So it's just a thing of every now and then I'll put a mix on YouTube. We started last year in August, and this month actually, it's my birthday this week. I'm pretty sure by the time it's out, it'll be my birthday. So I'm gonna put another mix out this week.
This week?
Yeah, birthday mix sort of. And that's only the 8th one. So out of 12 months, I've only put out 8 mixes.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot, man.
That's a lot of
It's
work.
a lot, man.
You're saying you're getting over 200k views
Yeah.
on these mixes. That means you see, or if you were to, I hate to say it, but if you were to pull up a major league type of thing where we get like I wouldn't say, I'm just trying to throw it out as an idea, a tax balcony mix. You say we're going to a rooftop in Rivonia. Tax is going to be playing for like an hour, and then you put out like exclusive tickets for, it's not everyone that's invited, you know.
That is essentially the plan, to get this thing where people wanna come out and just listen
and
to music.
record a live mix.
Because if you are consuming the music in your own personal space,
you'd love to
enjoy the
with
music
similar people that enjoy the same thing.
Exactly.
So you've had this idea. Okay. Now, big shout. What are they called? These mixes that would, if somebody was to go look for them on YouTube.
It's the Amapiano mix series by DJ Tags.
Yeah. So if they go on YouTube and search DJ Tags Amapiano mix series,
they'll find it.
And
it's not just Amapiano. You heard now. Okay, no, I was playing shit. So towards the end, it's an Amapiano mix. But towards the end, I just throw in random songs that I listen to, like Shebeshete, maybe Afro Tag, Lala Toxin, or Taxin DJ, Trestep, a mixture of a lot of things.
Who would you love to work with in the industry? Like if you were, let's say right now, sort of budget shit, or we're blowing like a meat-on tax, we can get these names on us. Who would you love to cook with?
One person or just a list?
Let's say 5 people you'd love to, both producers and vocalists.
Right now, I think Kabza will have to be up there.
Kabza,
Kelvin Momo will have to be up there. And then who else?
The vocalists. Let's say now you and Kabza, like the really beat the shit. Who do you think would be?
We need vocalists. A person like Amifaku will have to be there. Amifaku will have to be there. Who else, man?
I want to give verse from Youngster, or maybe who's killing it in piano, right? But Limek crazy, Limek.
I love Limek. I love Youngster,
but the type of stuff you're doing,
music,
you're cooking.
I don't think they'll fit in. I don't think they'll. But I would like to, if they were to request a beat of their style,
you can
I would
cook it,
produce it and give it to them. But for the music that I currently release, it's something different, something a bit more mellow.
So something, let's say something you're cooking right now. Who would you, the beats you're making right now?
Hey, who's hot right now?
That can do the style that you're making.
Who's hot, Papa? Who do I listen to mostly? Who do I complain about?
Mostly not. I don't know anything about females.
But for you too.
Okay, female, I would say Makanje.
Yo, yeah. Uspanal Kelvin Momo. She's dope. She's dope.
Was she on the previous album?
Yeah, she was on.
Which song?
Konjo, what's the name of that song? I'm bad with song titles. I don't want to lie.
Yeah, me too.
I'm bad with song titles.
Okay.
But she works with Kelvin Momo. She's also spiritual. And one of these.
The soul.
Mahu is also one of them. I'd like to work with Mahu. Yo,
she's crazy.
I think I'll have work for days for Mahu, I got Scooch.
Yeah.
So Mahu is dope. That's one person I actually listen to. I've been listening to Mahu since before COVID, but yeah, Mahu has always been that because her music is different. But Mahu in a way, there was a lady called Toshi. I don't know if you know her. That's Panale Black Coffee. Toshi was dope, man. Toshi was dope. So Mahu has that thing already. She's in her own lane. Nobody else can do what she does. That's why I like her. I like people who are different. Man.
Mahu, playing.
I think another person I'd like to work with, Amos.
Amos is
Amos
crazy.
is dope.
Amos is crazy.
Amos is dope, man. Yo. McMahon producer is also dope. McMahon is a dope producer. Yeah.
How would you describe your sound? Do you have the words? If someone
I think
who has never had a tech song, if you were to describe the type of music you make,
now if you were to listen to all my songs, man, one thing you must know, God, they are always musical in a sense. So I always make sure I incorporate soul and house.
soul and house.
Yeah, and try to blend those two things into piano. Not necessarily trying to make a piano song, but trying to make a sound that people now can relate to. Because that piano is something that everybody's listening to right now. I mean, globally, not just as more.
Globally,
So I try to make a sound that everybody would relate to, and it still caters to who I am. So soul music was a huge factor in my upbringing, soul and jazz. So I try to
So,
incorporate.
man, do you remember any names of the soul artists you band?
But they are mostly white.
Well,
And like Michael Bolton. I listen to a lot of, even now. But I listen to what's that group, man? Is it Cool and
Cool and Dre?
No. Cool and the Gang. I listen to Cool and the Gang. I listen to a lot of Keith White, Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat. I don't know why I'm thinking White. I listen to Joe. I listen to a lot of soul music. So just taking those soul elements and making them house music is what I like. That's why I like working with vocalists who can perform on a mic. Who can perform on a mic.
It's not somebody who makes
hit notes, know which key you're working with, those kind of things. So in people who mostly rap or are more lyrical in terms of wordplay, flow and whatnot, they don't focus on keys and all that. They're more focused on their punchlines, their deliveries.
It's more about the writing.
So yeah. I'm mostly focused on the performance of the song in terms of melody, as you say.
The state of music right now in South Africa and globally, what do you think? Like, where do you think we're headed? Let's say in the next 5 years, are we still going to be listening to piano? Like, if you were to give us a vision.
In the next 5 years? Yeah, I think piano is only evolving.
It's evolving.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine not too long ago about the comparison of Gqom and piano. Gqom had the potential to take over the world. Because remember, Gqom was being played,
it was gone.
Tomorrowland and all that. Mara,
it didn't
Gqom
evolve.
wasn't evolving.
It wasn't evolving.
So piano is always evolving. Listen to the piano. Okay, listen to piano songs in a span of 2 years.
Bro,
2 years going down.
It's
totally different music.
If you listen to the songs they were making in 2019,
different. Before 2016, you know, piano was playing in Soweto and
Pitori way before it blew up.
But Jack Buddha
existed.
I don't know if it's still there, but but I remember Pitori used to be that thing.
Yeah.
When we were still playing Soulful House, piano was a thing. Bo Snow Deep, Bo Bargamang, Louis Lange. Those people were making Amapiano. And then came Bo MFR Souls, Castella Sabonasa Eastrente, Do
MFR Souls.
So piano has always been there way before. Way before. My 2016, I remember. So now I was more so of a soulful house producer back then. That's why it was easy for me to incorporate the soulful house with the new sort of quote-unquote private school piano. Because I feel like that's the sound that I'm doing, but still I don't want to sound like the people who are already doing that. So I want to establish my own lane, and just when you listen to my song, you shouldn't really classify it with another song that you heard yesterday. Or this sounds similar to, no. It sounds like
Sounds
my
like
song.
tax.
Yeah, this sounds like a tax song.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what I'm trying to do.
We usually end this podcast by asking you this question. So if you were to have a superpower, whether go for to read minds, any other, you watch superhero movies, right? If you were to have any kind of a superpower, what would it be and why?
I think for me it will be to read minds.
To read minds.
Yeah.
Why you want to read minds?
Because we live in a world of misconceptions. Because people always think they know what the other person is thinking or is feeling. So that's one thing that I try to care more for in regards to how people feel. So nna ke motho a rata go guarana, for instance, some people think I'm insensitive. So imagine when today you are not in the mood or closer again.
Yeah.
Mara, you woke up in your bed mood. It happens. But to go through things every day, not knowing how you woke up or what news you
the kind of
receive.
day I'm having.
So it's a thing of now I'm being insensitive, and I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to brighten your mood by making you laugh. Mara, because
Having a bad
I
day.
can't read the room, it now comes off as malicious. So having that superpower, I feel like
You'd be able to tell.
you'd be able to tell and be able to care for people differently. Because hey man, people go through different things every day, and people go through a lot. Hey,
True.
we all go through a lot, so it's always good sometimes to just have a person understand what you're going through.
Pause.
I think we all need that.
True say. And where do people find you on the socials if they're trying to get your music?
Socials, Facebook. I'm gonna start with the OG one. Facebook, DJ Tags verified.
With the blue tick.
If it doesn't have a blue tick,
It's not
me. It's DJ Tags. And Instagram is Tags Live, Tags _ live. TikTok is Tags _ live. And which other app is there? X, ne? Yeah, Elon. Yeah, it's also Tags _ live.
How do they spell the tax?
It's TUCKS _ live.
TUCKS _ live. Nah, it was nice having you out here, bro.
And nice having you too.
Big shout out to everybody that's watching the podcast. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Big shout out to Dr. Greek for shooting us out here. We nice, we out here, we're signing out. Yeah, away.
It's a wrap.
It's all right.